This is Brandon D, and this is Culture 101. While we talk about things that goes on our culture, today's topic is we're going to talk about culture appropriating, culture vulturing, and actually proper representation. Now, the reason why I have the YouTube show The Grapevine framed, and you also can find The Grapevine on Instagram, is because they brought up a really interesting topic. And also, it also going to be going into what I was talking about earlier is representation. So let's get this camera around to me now. All right. All right. Let's get it right here. Let's give me a little bit of light. Boom. So let me get a little bit comfortable real quick before I get it all started. So the main topic was on the grapevine was talking about Yesjulz. Now, if you ask me who is this person before maybe last week, I probably wouldn't know too much. Uh, or matter of fact, even today, I probably wouldn't know too much about her. Uh, but the things that I listen to and the things that I kind of care about in the culture really doesn't truly involve her. But it was brought up, and I'm going to actually talk about it. So the reason why they brought up Yes Jess is the doggish nature she have towards black women, and if you dog black women, you're really dogging the culture, and that's a very really great answer with that. And also I seen a little podcast with Yes Jess and I guess with Murder Mook. Now the interesting thing about that whole podcast, right? She was try to explain the reasons and was trying to explain why she felt like it was okay or justifying the situation instead of really owning up and say, yo, I made a mistake. Uh, a part of it saying she was young, she didn't know better, and everything else. That have nothing to do with anything. I think racism been around for a very long time, or bad stereotypes been around for a very long time. So, I don't agree with her opinion and her thought process. And this is also problematic because, like, and I will agree with the grapevine with this and others. We have the prominent black athletes, people are in the industry okaying this. Now, I will say they do have some people in the industry like Joe Budden and others are not okaying this, and also Scotty Beam, uh, and what's his name, Ebro. So I agree with them. So ultimately, where I'm at with this whole feeling of the situation, and especially listening to the podcast, do we really have a problem that's in our culture, and do we need to hurry up and eradicate it? What was bothersome was not with her per se. It was more or less with Murder Mook. I've never seen a man cape so hard for someone ever in my life. Like I've never seen a man cape for nobody's like their own wife more than this man was caping for her. So um I'm not gonna put nothing towards it. This is my own opinion. I can't really speak for anybody because I'm not them. But it, like it was crazy. It was like she was saying the word. He was almost giving him the pass of saying the N word and everything else, and it was just very spooky. And I will say this: it do seem like the people with the darker skin, and this might be a stereotype, with the darker skin, they have the most self hatred. uh, he was even justified. Oh, well, you're Puerto Rican. No, you are Italian. Listen, I know my history. I do understand about the Moors and with the Italian culture, and I also understand with the Puerto Ricans. But I also understand that if you have 5 or 10% of African descent, and I don't know her ratio, but if she do have it probably that low, um, that don't make you black, and that don't make you okay for you to say or not say, but to wear things that's super offensive. So, and let me give you a comparison. Now, because of unfortunate slavery, I probably have up to maybe that same percentile of Caucasian in me. So, if I have about 10% of Caucasian in me, did that make me Caucasian? The answer is no. It does. It doesn't at all. So let's flip this around to her point of view. If and this is not her, this is Murder Mook. So Murder Mook, if you have 5, 10% of white in you, do that make you white? And if that does make you white, do you have the right to say the things you say? But we're gonna go into more realistic stuff, okay? Uh, she don't identify as black. She's not black, and being Spanish is a language. All right, if we want to go as a culture, yes, but that don't make you black. You know what I mean? Even if she got the Spaniard blood in her. Spanish do got some blacks because, because of the wars. But on the same token, it does not make you African descent. And what was so bad about the whole thing, instead of her answering, the host was answering it. That was a horrible, horrible, horrible interview. It was more about him, and people really didn't get a chance to really feel anything. And I don't think when he was caping for her, it was justified for her to be okay with the whole situation because he was caping for her so much. She didn't get a chance to really have a conversation about it. Now, my thing is, people are intelligent; they know what they do. It seems like people are saying things that's very taboo and very offensive, and they always want to say, "I don't know, I don't understand." Look, this stuff haven't been around like it just came up. Look, this stuff been around going on almost the beginning of time, man. Like this is nothing new, being a part of the ADOS movement, man. Look, 400 years about to come up, real talk. I mean, they even talk about my history. Like my great grandfather was a slave. That's it's not that far removed. My grandfather was born into slavery. And the reason why I said born into slavery, by the time he probably really realized things was going on and what it was, he was pretty much, out. So, but he was definitely a part of Jim Crow. So, and me stating this type of thing, it shows the mentality of certain people. It shows that you can remove the shackles, but it's about the mind, that mindset. And the main reason I even brought up the whole grapevine is it's about representation. You know, we when we have these conversations and we don't have the proper representation, it's going to sound really bad. Like for instance, I would love to have like a dating type of show, like having talk about different issues what men and women go through when they actually kind of going on dates, like hear a man point of view and a woman point of view. And I'm still going to try to do that. I probably got to get my equipment up, but time is going to happen. But I can't have a conversation with myself or another guy because it's going to sound one sided. It's going to sound biased. Even if I look and put my head in a woman's shoes, I still can't understand what a woman go through in an everyday thing. So we can't have a real true conversation to understand each other. So when we talk about hip hop, yeah, I mean, that's American black culture. Yes, American black culture reach everybody. And I know everybody touches it down. But let's say the source and the core is American black history and culture. So if you don't have that true, I've seen Haitians, I've seen Dominicans, I've seen Jamaicans, but I didn't truly see too many black African Americans. And if they were caping so hard for the situation. They were, I mean, it was bad, man. And what we seen even in black politics, we having not the proper representation. We have like the boule. We having people that look like us but not speaking for us. And most of the time, that people that speaking for us, like Roland Martin, Angela Rye, they have black immigrant descent. Not saying they don't have great black immigrant allies, but that's the biggest problem. And they can't really identify with the black issue and the struggle. They can understand it to a point because it's kind of almost like somewhat of a universal connection. But just like you having a Jamaican background or you having a Dominican Haitian background, still a unique situation. You know, when I say what we share, the black experience is different. I mean, it's sometimes it's we can connect, but it's also different, man. It's like especially the black American experience. It's a different animal. So me saying this, when we have an issue with saying like I seen a few things with the grapevine talking about men are trash, men are doing this, doing that, and numerous times I've seen the show they're talking about well we're the front man, but we don't run it. We don't control the situation. And I will say they do have a lot of anti-black women issues in hip hop, but you know what? They have a lot of anti a lot of things in other things, but I don't see uh other women attacking their men, you know? And let me add this, right? I do understand about accountability. I do think we need to grow as a people. And the main reason I brought up my great grandfather being a slave because, like I said, we have a lot of self hate in our community. And I say us in the community, like black men and black women. So when I'm talking about this and talking about the issues, I want people to understand that. Now, it might be different from a black immigrant point of view because their experiences might be different. You know, you have black Dominicans, they don't think they're even black, you know, because they have a Spaniard father or mother or whatever, and they more identify with the Spaniard bloodline because, you know, their slavery was different because the Spaniards actually, I mean, the Spaniards actually claimed their children, you know, while the Britain French, we were bastards and we're just slaves. So, you know, it's the different mentality. So when we have these conversations, you need to have proper representation. Now when I'm talking about this Black American stuff, now this is something that I think, matter of fact, not even Black American. I think in general, as women and men, and that's the Black culture, and this is what it is, culture 101. They talk about what Black men allows, but I never hear what women have the accountability with. Like the Black movement was for all of us. The Black Panther movement, the anything revolutionary, it was for everybody. Gays, women, it doesn't matter. But the thing is, from what I see, what we're not talking about is how white women became a minority or a minority class. How can you be a minority class and technically you're a majority in America? How? Because I just don't understand it. And also, gays, the same situation. How did gay white men became a minority status? Well, let me tell you, because we have people and we got self-hate everywhere. People are trying to escape blackness. Now, black men, they do have some black men, but probably trying to do the same thing. But if you're heterosexual, but let's be real, you can't escape it. You are who you are. You know, ain't no look. It's a line in the sand. It is what it is. You know what it is. So be it. But I also would say this, right? Um, you see with women, when they try to escape, and that's why I say this, right? When you try to escape who you truly are and your movement, you will like I don't know, it sounds kind of off to me, and I'm just gonna say this with thought. You know, you make not the best decisions. You know, uh, a lot of these women they say, well, we let all these racist people in the culture, and I agree to a point, but I'm saying we talk about black politics, the black agenda, who allow other people in our spaces there, you know? So we all have accountability, you know? And we need to realize it's not about the gender politics, it's about all of us, man. It's all about love. You know, me myself personally, I feel like I'm not a person that use, oh, white person bad. This nah, I don't look at that. I look at it. A lot of people kind of fight for resources and they don't really care about who they step on. And it's just a reality of the situation. Now, unfortunately, my descendants and myself really was never in the game. So it's a different type of unique situation. So now, what I say with culture vulturing. Now we left that subject. We're going to talk about culture vulturing. Now, or culture appropriating. Now, I spoke to a coworker and I told him like it's a difference from appropriating and like appreciating and appropriating. Now, the difference to me is, look, I could look. St. Patrick's about to come up. I could go and have a good time in St. Patrick and party up and eat what I need to eat, but realize that's not my culture. But I appreciate it. You know, I love it. It's cool. But when other people come, especially into black culture, they like to take it and rename it and say, yo, it's mine and I created it. If I need to go further, look at the goddamn Egyptians or the ancient Kemits. You know what I mean? You see black hieroglyphics, you see noses kind of pulled off, but all of a sudden they're not they're not black. So that's where people are kind of, and especially my community, people see, well, you're getting mad at this, but you do this. No, it's different. See, people, we can understand like what we do this, you know, and we also understand sometimes we have to merge into other people's communities and merge into society. So we have to wear and do certain things. We're not able to be free how we want to be free. How many times you seen people get sent home or get in trouble at work for wearing their natural hair besides black people? So I want you guys to understand that. And just with the grapevine, man, look, I love your show. One day, hopefully, you know, you guys be in the West Coast, call your boy up. I will definitely be a part of it, you know. But I think we need proper representation. We need I know Carl went sideways, but we do need a conservative point. We need different points from all point of view. I don't want to have I don't like the conversation be all one sided. So hopefully you guys like what you guys hear. Please subscribe, man. Be one of my first subscribers. Uh, like if you like it, you know, and hopefully, look, with your help and with your love, trust me, I could build up my YouTube empire, and hopefully we could grow together, man. So, like I said, it's just my point of view, my thought. You know, nothing malicious. It's me having a point of view and me having a thought. So I think everybody need to have a thought and a point of view. And look, we're not always going to agree. We're going to probably disagree a lot, but we need to have the conversation. That's how we could grow as a community, as a nation. You know, and I think, truthfully, especially with my country, I love my country. America is beautiful, got good points and bad points, but I think we also need to start listening to each other. So, like I said, if you like this, man, please subscribe. Boom, I'm out.